Welcome to Master English Naturally. Thank you for joining us today. If you want to sound more natural and fluent in English conversations, this lesson is for you.
Your host for today, and I'm really happy that you're here with me. If you're new to the channel, let me tell you that we upload new English learning lessons every single day to help you improve your English faster and speak with more confidence. Today's masterclass is something special. In this lesson, you are going to learn advanced English phrases that you can use all day, in everyday life, to sound more fluent, more natural, and more expressive. These phrases will help you strengthen both your English listening and your English speaking skills, and they will slowly train your brain to think in English instead of translating word by word. In today's session, we will go through rich, real-life examples that show you how advanced speakers use these phrases naturally in conversations. You will hear how the sentence flows, how the rhythm works, and how you can add these expressions to your daily life without feeling uncomfortable or unsure. These phrases will help you start conversations, continue conversations, express your emotions, share opinions, handle daily situations, and speak English with more ease and confidence. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to use these advanced expressions in different situations, and you'll feel more prepared to speak naturally throughout your day. I'll guide you step by step, and I'll share powerful practice exercises that you can repeat along with me to build real fluency. Before we start, make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon if you want more helpful English learning episodes like this. So, take a deep breath, stay relaxed, and get ready. Let's begin this fluency masterclass together. The first thing I want you to remember in this masterclass is that advanced English does not always mean complicated English. It means expressive English, natural English, English that helps you communicate your thoughts clearly, confidently, and effortlessly. When you listen to fluent speakers, you'll notice that they use certain phrases again and again throughout their day, not because those phrases are fancy, but because they allow them to express subtle meaning, soft emotions, and real daily life ideas. So, as we begin today's lesson, I want you to simply relax and absorb the rhythm, the tone, and the natural flow of these phrases. Think of this session as a long, calm conversation between you and me, a space where you can practice English gently, without pressure, and without feeling rushed. Let's start with a phrase that advanced speakers use constantly in everyday life. The phrase is, "I've been meaning to." This is a beautiful expression that you can use from morning to night, whenever you talk about something you have wanted to do for a while. For example, imagine you wake up and think about your tasks. You can say, "I've been meaning to clean my desk. I've been meaning to call my friend back. I've been meaning to finish that report." When you say it out loud, repeat it slowly with me. I've been meaning to. Feel how smooth it sounds. Try to picture a real situation from your life, something you've been delaying. Say it naturally to yourself, letting the phrase guide your thoughts. This is how fluency develops: slow, real, emotional repetition. Another phrase that advanced speakers use all the time is, "I can't get over how." This phrase helps you express surprise, shock, joy, or even disbelief. For instance, when something unexpected happens, you can say, "I can't get over how beautiful the sky looks today." I can't get over how quickly this week passed. I can't get over how kind she was to me. This phrase adds emotion to your language and helps your English feel more expressive. Take a moment. Think of something that surprised you recently. Now repeat slowly. I can't get over how. And complete the sentence in your mind. Feel how the sentence flows through your thoughts, not through memorization. That's fluency. Now imagine you're having a conversation with a friend, a coworker, or someone you just met. You want to sound natural, confident, and expressive. One of the most powerful phrases for this is, "What I appreciate about." This phrase helps you sound thoughtful, mature, and emotionally aware. You can use it in daily life, at work, in casual conversations, or even during small talk. For example, what I appreciate about this weather is how calm it feels. What I appreciate about working from home is the flexibility. What I appreciate about you is your honesty. This phrase builds emotional connection, and fluent English is not just about vocabulary. It's about connection. So practice with me slowly. What I appreciate about, then add something simple, something real, something honest. While you're practicing these phrases, remember that fluency is not a race. It's a slow, gentle training of your brain. You don't need to force yourself. You don't need to sound perfect. You simply need to repeat naturally and allow your mind to get used to these advanced patterns. Let's continue with more daily life expressions that you can use throughout your day. Another powerful phrase for everyday use is, "the thing is." This is one of the most common phrases used by fluent speakers when they want to explain something, clarify something, or express a deeper thought. You can say, "The thing is, I'm really tired today. The thing is, I don't have enough time. The thing is, I'm still learning." This expression softens your speech and makes you sound more natural and conversational. Try saying it slowly with me. The thing is. Notice how it creates a gentle pause before your explanation. Use it whenever you need time to think. It works beautifully in real conversations. Another advanced expression is, "I'm not quite sure, but." This phrase helps you sound confident even when you're uncertain. In English, fluent speakers don't just say, "I don't know." They soften their speech. They express uncertainty in a polite, natural way. For example, "I'm not quite sure, but I think he'll arrive soon." "I'm not quite sure, but this option might work better." "I'm not quite sure, but let me check." Practicing this phrase will help you sound more flexible, more professional, and more natural in conversations. Say it with me. I'm not quite sure, but. Now, imagine you're starting your morning routine. You walk into the kitchen. You make your coffee or tea. You begin thinking about your day. This is a perfect moment to practice advanced English phrases internally, inside your mind. For example, you might say to yourself, "At the end of the day, what matters is staying consistent." Or, "As far as I can tell, things are going well." Or, "From what I understand, the meeting starts at 9. These expressions flow naturally and can be used many times throughout your day. Let them become part of your thinking, because when your thoughts shift to English, your fluency grows automatically. Another advanced phrase that adds elegance to your speech is, "I'd like to get a better handle on." This means you want to understand something more deeply. You can say, I'd like to get a better handle on my schedule. I'd like to get a better handle on managing stress. I'd like to get a better handle on my English pronunciation. Repeat it slowly. I'd like to get a better handle on. Again, picture a real part of your life that fits this phrase. The connection between language and real experience is what builds true fluency. Let's practice another phrase that fluent speakers love. If I'm being honest. This phrase allows you to speak with sincerity. It makes your communication more open, more natural, and more emotionally real. For example, if I'm being honest, I really needed a break. If I'm being honest, I didn't understand that part. If I'm being honest, I'm trying my best. When you use this phrase, you invite the listener into a more personal space, and this helps build confidence and deeper communication. Repeat gently with me. If I'm being honest. As you continue learning these phrases, imagine yourself using them in real life. Think of conversations at work, at home, at school, or with friends. Visualize yourself speaking slowly, clearly, calmly. This mental practice is just as important as speaking practice. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let the language flow through you, without pressure. Let's continue with another phrase that is extremely useful. I'll see what I can do. Fluent speakers use this phrase when they want to show willingness, without giving a strong promise. You can say, I'll see what I can do about finishing it today. I'll see what I can do to help. I'll see what I can do when I have time. Repeat it softly, and let the phrase become part of your natural speaking toolkit. Another advanced phrase is, it's been on my mind. Use this when you've been thinking about something for a while. For example, it's been on my mind lately to eat healthier. It's been on my mind to plan a trip. It's been on my mind to learn new skills. Say it slowly. Feel the emotional weight of the phrase. It helps you speak naturally, with depth. Let's add one more English phrase. The phrase is, for what it's worth. This is an elegant, advanced expression that helps you share an opinion softly. You can say, for what it's worth. I think you're doing a great job. For what it's worth. I support your decision. For what it's worth. I believe things will improve. Use this phrase to express gentle opinions in a polite, thoughtful, confident way. When you practice advanced English phrases, it's important to connect each expression to a real situation in your daily life. This helps your mind remember the phrase emotionally, not mechanically. So let's continue by exploring more expressions that fluent speakers use constantly, often without even noticing. One of those expressions is, I'm working on getting better at. This phrase is perfect for personal growth, self-improvement, or soft conversation topics. You can say, I'm working on getting better at time management. I'm working on getting better at expressing myself clearly. I'm working on getting better at staying calm under pressure. Say it with me slowly. I'm working on getting better at. Now connect it to something real in your life. Feel how the sentence becomes more meaningful when it reflects your truth. Another daily phrase you can use is, it caught me off guard. This expression means something surprised you. For example, the message caught me off guard. The weather caught me off guard. His reaction caught me off guard. This phrase sounds advanced and natural because fluent speakers often express emotional reaction rather than simply stating facts. To build fluency, think about moments recently when something surprised you, then say, "It caught me off guard." Notice the calm, controlled rhythm of the phrase. That rhythm is part of fluent speaking. Another powerful expression you can use all day is, "I'm trying to wrap my head around." This means you're trying to understand something that feels complex. You might say, "I'm trying to wrap my head around this new schedule. I'm trying to wrap my head around how this system works. I'm trying to wrap my head around everything that happened today." This phrase adds emotional depth to your language. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to wrap my head around. Now choose something from your life that still feels confusing or unclear, and complete the sentence naturally. Now imagine yourself starting a conversation with someone. You want to add warmth and depth to your message. One of the best expressions for this is, "I just wanted to take a moment to." It's polite, soft, and very natural in advanced English. For example, "I just wanted to take a moment to thank you." "I just wanted to take a moment to check on you." "I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate your help." This phrase is perfect for personal, friendly, or professional communication. Now say it with me. I just wanted to take a moment to. Allow your voice to relax as you practice. Fluency grows when the mind and body are calm. Another expression you'll hear a lot from native speakers is, "It wouldn't hurt to." This is a gentle suggestion, softer than giving advice directly. For example, "It wouldn't hurt to take a short break." "It wouldn't hurt to review this again." "It wouldn't hurt to ask for help." Use this phrase when you want to offer ideas without sounding forceful or demanding. Try it slowly. It wouldn't hurt to. Then complete it with something simple from your day. Let's continue with another essential phrase. I'm beginning to realize that. This phrase helps you express new understanding or growth. You might say, "I'm beginning to realize that I need more rest." "I'm beginning to realize that learning English is a daily journey." "I'm beginning to realize that I'm stronger than I thought." This expression brings emotional maturity into your English. Repeat gently. I'm beginning to realize that, and then complete a thought that feels true to you. Another powerful phrase you can use in daily life is, "It's not just about." Fluent speakers love this phrase because it helps expand meaning. You can say, "It's not just about learning new words. It's about using them." "It's not just about working hard. It's about working smart." "It's not just about speaking fast. It's about speaking clearly." Repeat slowly. It's not just about. This expression is great for explanations and deeper discussions. Now, let's practice a phrase used constantly during conversations. What I'm trying to say is. This phrase helps you sound natural when you want to explain something more clearly. For example, what I'm trying to say is that I appreciate your help. What I'm trying to say is that I need a bit more time. What I'm trying to say is that I'm feeling overwhelmed. This is a perfect filler phrase, one that gives you time to think while still sounding fluent. Try it slowly. What I'm trying to say is. Another daily expression is, "I didn't expect that to happen." This helps you talk about surprise or unexpected moments in a soft, natural way. You can say, "I didn't expect that to happen at work today." I didn't expect that to happen during the meeting. I didn't expect that to happen so quickly. Repeat it with emotional rhythm. I didn't expect that to happen. As you continue practicing, imagine real scenarios. Imagine waking up in the morning, planning your day, checking your messages, talking to people, facing small challenges, learning something new. These moments are your practice ground. For example, when you wake up and feel tired, you can say to yourself, "It feels like one of those days." When you solve a problem, you can say, "I think I finally figured it out." When you feel unsure, you can say, "I'm still trying to decide." Each expression builds natural fluency. Another advanced phrase you'll love is, "I'm keeping an open mind." This means you're willing to consider different ideas or possibilities. For example, I'm keeping an open mind about trying new habits. I'm keeping an open mind about this situation. I'm keeping an open mind about future changes. Repeat calmly. I'm keeping an open mind. Another expression is, "It's safe to say that." This helps you sound confident when you're making a conclusion. You can say, "It's safe to say that I learned something new today." It's safe to say that things are improving. It's safe to say that you're working hard. Try repeating it gently. It's safe to say that. Now imagine you're reflecting on your progress in English. You might want to express motivation, progress, or small victories. This is when you can use the phrase, "I'm slowly getting better at." You can say, "I'm slowly getting better at speaking without translating." "I'm slowly getting better at understanding fast English." "I'm slowly getting better at remembering advanced phrases." Repeat softly. I'm slowly getting better at. Fluency grows in steps, not leaps, and this phrase reflects that beautifully. Let's practice one more expression. I'm doing my best to stay focused. This phrase shows determination in a gentle, human way. You can also adapt it to other situations. I'm doing my best to stay calm. I'm doing my best to learn consistently. I'm doing my best to improve myself. Repeat it slowly and let your mind connect to your real efforts in life. As we continue building your fluency, I want you to listen to each phrase slowly and naturally, letting the language settle inside your mind. Fluency grows when you feel the language, not when you memorize it. The next phrase I want you to practice is, "I've got a lot on my plate." This is a wonderful, advanced expression that means you have many responsibilities or tasks. You might say, "I've got a lot on my plate this week." "I've got a lot on my plate right now at work." "I've got a lot on my plate emotionally." Repeat it gently. I've got a lot on my plate. Let the meaning connect with your real life, because emotional connection makes English unforgettable. Another useful expression is, "I'll keep you posted." Native speakers love this phrase because it's friendly, clear, and professional. You can use it with coworkers, friends, or family. It simply means you will keep someone updated. For example, "I'll keep you posted about the meeting." "I'll keep you posted if anything changes." "I'll keep you posted once I hear back." Say it with me slowly. I'll keep you posted. Imagine someone waiting for your reply. This phrase fits naturally in that situation. Another common phrase fluent speakers use is, "I can relate to that." This means you understand someone's experience because you've been in a similar situation. It shows empathy and emotional intelligence, which are important for advanced communication. You can say, I can relate to that feeling. I can relate to that struggle. I can relate to that situation. Repeat softly. I can relate to that. Use it when you want to create connection and show understanding in conversations. Now, imagine yourself sitting with a friend or colleague, and they ask for your opinion. Instead of saying something simple, you can use the advanced expression, here's the way I see it. This phrase helps you express your perspective clearly and confidently. You can say, here's the way I see it. This approach might work better. Here's the way I see it. We need to stay patient. Here's the way I see it. Practice makes all the difference. Say it slowly. Here's the way I see it. Feel how natural and fluent it sounds. Another phrase that adds depth to your English is, I've been giving it some thought. This expression helps you show reflection, planning, or emotional consideration. You can say, I've been giving it some thought, and I think I should make a change. I've been giving it some thought, and maybe it's time to try something new. I've been giving it some thought, and I want to improve my routine. Repeat gently. I've been giving it some thought. This phrase makes your English feel thoughtful and mature. Let's continue with another advanced phrase. It's starting to sink in. This means you're beginning to understand something deeply or emotionally. For example, it's starting to sink in that things are changing. It's starting to sink in that I've improved. It's starting to sink in that I need rest. Say it slowly and naturally. It's starting to sink in. Another useful expression for daily conversations is, I wouldn't be surprised if. This helps you express predictions in a soft, natural way. You might say, I wouldn't be surprised if it rains today. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets the promotion. I wouldn't be surprised if things work out. Repeat it with me. I wouldn't be surprised if. This is a great phrase for showing expectations without sounding too strong. Now imagine dealing with a challenge or a confusing situation. A powerful advanced phrase you can use is, I'm weighing my options. This means you're thinking about different choices before making a decision. You could say, I'm weighing my options about what to do next. I'm weighing my options for the weekend. I'm weighing my options before making a commitment. Repeat slowly. I'm weighing my options. This phrase sounds educated, thoughtful, and perfect for deeper communication. Another daily life expression fluent speakers use is, I've come to the conclusion that. This phrase is strong and reflective, often used after thinking for a while. You can say, I've come to the conclusion that I need more balance. I've come to the conclusion that English requires daily practice. I've come to the conclusion that I've grown a lot. Repeat it gently. I've come to the conclusion that. Let the phrase guide you into deeper reflection. Let's practice another powerful expression. I'm trying to find the right balance. This phrase is extremely common because everyone, at some point, tries to find balance between work and rest, between responsibilities and self-care, between learning and taking breaks. You can say, I'm trying to find the right balance between productivity and rest. I'm trying to find the right balance in my daily routine. I'm trying to find the right balance as I grow. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to find the right balance. Another expression that reflects emotional maturity is, I'm doing what I can. This phrase shows effort without pressure. You can use it when handling difficulties, learning new skills, or managing your day. For example, I'm doing what I can to stay consistent. I'm doing what I can to stay patient. I'm doing what I can to improve day by day. Repeat calmly. I'm doing what I can. This phrase brings comfort and confidence to your English. Imagine having a conversation with someone who tells you something inspiring. To respond naturally, you can use the expression, that really resonates with me. This means the idea touched you emotionally or personally. You can say, that really resonates with me because I've been through something similar. That really resonates with me, and it makes sense. Repeat gently. That really resonates with me. This expression softens your tone and strengthens emotional connection. Another phrase used constantly by advanced speakers is, I'm trying to stay mindful of. This expression shows awareness, intention, and emotional maturity. You can say, I'm trying to stay mindful of my habits. I'm trying to stay mindful of my reactions. I'm trying to stay mindful of my goals. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to stay mindful of. Let's add one more. I'm learning to trust the process. This phrase is emotional, motivating, and widely used in personal development. You can say, I'm learning to trust the process in my English learning. I'm learning to trust the process in my career. I'm learning to trust the process in life. Repeat softly. I'm learning to trust the process. Let this phrase remind you that fluency takes time, patience, consistency, and belief in yourself. As we move deeper into this fluency masterclass, I want you to notice how your mind is slowly adjusting to these advanced expressions. Every phrase you learn adds another layer of natural rhythm to your English. The more you repeat, the more these expressions become a part of your thinking patterns. And when English becomes a part of your thinking, fluency follows you everywhere, throughout your day. Let's continue building that natural flow with more phrases you can use in real conversations and real daily life. A phrase fluent speakers use very often is, it's been a long time coming. This expression means that something has been expected or delayed for a while. For example, this decision has been a long time coming. This change has been a long time coming. This improvement has been a long time coming. Repeat slowly. It's been a long time coming. This phrase adds emotional depth and shows understanding of time and progress. Another powerful expression is, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. This is similar to the earlier phrase, wrap my head around, but it adds a slightly deeper, emotional tone. You can say, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around everything that happened today. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this new information. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how much things have changed. Repeat the phrase gently and imagine yourself in a moment of reflection. Let's practice another daily life phrase that advanced speakers use constantly. I didn't see that coming. This expression means you were caught by surprise. You can say, I didn't see that coming at work today. I didn't see that coming in the conversation. I didn't see that coming at all. Repeat it slowly. I didn't see that coming. This phrase is especially useful during casual conversations because it sounds natural and expressive. Another advanced expression is, I'm doing my best to stay on top of things. This means you're trying to stay organized, responsible, and in control of your tasks. For example, I'm doing my best to stay on top of things at work. I'm doing my best to stay on top of my schedule. I'm doing my best to stay on top of my goals. Repeat calmly. I'm doing my best to stay on top of things. This phrase sounds mature, committed, and very natural. Now imagine talking to someone about something important. You want to share your perspective in a thoughtful way. A perfect expression for this is, what matters most to me is. This phrase lets you express your values and priorities. For example, what matters most to me is staying consistent. What matters most to me is taking care of my health. What matters most to me is learning something new every day. Repeat gently. What matters most to me is. Let the sentence connect with your real feelings. Another useful phrase advanced speakers use to express doubt or uncertainty is, I have a feeling that. This is softer and more natural than saying I think all the time. You can say, I have a feeling that things will work out. I have a feeling that today will be busy. I have a feeling that I can improve quickly. Repeat the phrase softly. I have a feeling that. This expression is perfect for predictions, emotions, and intuitive thoughts. Let's continue with another beautiful phrase. I'm trying to figure things out. This phrase is simple but powerful. It shows you're processing, learning, or solving problems. You can say, I'm trying to figure things out at my own pace. I'm trying to figure things out at work. I'm trying to figure things out in my daily routine. Repeat gently. I'm trying to figure things out. This phrase brings honesty and humility to your English. Another expression fluent speakers often use is, it's only a matter of time. This means something is likely to happen eventually. You can say, it's only a matter of time before I improve my English. It's only a matter of time before things get better. It's only a matter of time before I find the answer. Repeat slowly. It's only a matter of time. This phrase adds confidence and maturity to your speech. Let's practice a phrase that helps you show care and attention. I'm paying close attention to. This phrase is perfect for work, study, or personal discussions. You can say, I'm paying close attention to my habits. I'm paying close attention to my progress. I'm paying close attention to how I feel. Repeat it softly. I'm paying close attention to. Feel the calm clarity this phrase brings. Another daily phrase fluent speakers use is, I'm doing everything I can to. This shows determination and effort. For example, I'm doing everything I can to stay motivated. I'm doing everything I can to stay healthy. I'm doing everything I can to be consistent. Repeat it slowly. I'm doing everything I can to. This phrase communicates strength while remaining gentle and natural. Now imagine you're trying to comfort someone or encourage them. A beautiful phrase for this is, "You're doing better than you think." This expression is supportive, kind, and full of empathy. You can also use it for yourself, saying quietly, "I'm doing better than I think." Repeat it slowly. You're doing better than you think. Let this phrase feel warm and uplifting. Another advanced expression fluent speakers love is, "I'm beginning to understand myself better." This phrase is emotional, expressive, and deeply reflective. You can say, "I'm beginning to understand myself better every day." I'm beginning to understand myself better through challenges. I'm beginning to understand myself better as I grow. Repeat it softly. I'm beginning to understand myself better. It's perfect for deep conversations or personal reflections. Let's add another phrase that can be used many times throughout the day. I'm taking things one step at a time. This phrase shows patience, maturity, and emotional control. You can say, "I'm taking things one step at a time in my English learning." I'm taking things one step at a time with my goals. I'm taking things one step at a time in life. Repeat gently, "I'm taking things one step at a time." This expression will help you speak fluently and calmly in many situations. Finally, let's practice a phrase that brings emotional clarity. I'm learning to trust myself more. This expression is encouraging and powerful. You can say, "I'm learning to trust myself more when I speak." I'm learning to trust myself more when I make decisions. I'm learning to trust myself more every day. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to trust myself more. This phrase helps you build confidence, not just in English, but in life. As we continue this masterclass, I want you to notice how naturally these phrases are beginning to flow through your mind. With every repetition, you're not just memorizing expressions, you're training your brain to think in English. And when your thoughts shift into English, your fluency becomes effortless. Let's keep building this natural inner flow with more advanced expressions you can use throughout your day. A beautiful phrase fluent speakers often use is, "I'm starting to see things differently." This expression shows growth, emotional awareness, and deep self-reflection. You can say, "I'm starting to see things differently. After learning more, I'm starting to see things differently. As I get older, I'm starting to see things differently. Now that I'm improving my English." Repeat it slowly. I'm starting to see things differently. Let it reflect how your learning journey is expanding your perspective. Another advanced expression you can use is, "I'm trying to understand where they're coming from." This means you're trying to understand another person's feelings or point of view. You might say, "I'm trying to understand where they're coming from in this situation." I'm trying to understand where she's coming from emotionally. I'm trying to understand where he's coming from before I respond. Repeat gently. I'm trying to understand where they're coming from. This phrase shows maturity and emotional intelligence, key elements of advanced English. Another phrase that sounds natural and expressive is, "That makes a lot of sense." Fluent speakers use this to show agreement or understanding. For example, "That makes a lot of sense when you explain it that way." "That makes a lot of sense, and I didn't think of it before." "That makes a lot of sense. Now that I've heard everything, Repeat slowly. That makes a lot of sense. It's a perfect phrase to use when someone shares information that feels logical or clear. Let's continue with a soft, thoughtful expression. I can't help but feel like. This phrase shows emotion, honesty, and deeper expression. You can say, I can't help but feel like I'm improving. I can't help but feel like today will be productive. I can't help but feel like things are getting better. Repeat it gently. I can't help but feel like. Use this phrase when you want to express your emotions in a sincere, natural way. Another advanced phrase is, I've been reflecting on. Fluent speakers use this when they are thinking deeply about something. For example, I've been reflecting on my goals lately. I've been reflecting on my progress. I've been reflecting on how far I've come. Repeat it softly. I've been reflecting on. This phrase is great for thoughtful, calm conversations. Let's practice another daily life expression. I'm trying to stay consistent. Consistency is one of the most important habits in any learning process, especially language learning. You can say, I'm trying to stay consistent with my English practice. I'm trying to stay consistent with my routine. I'm trying to stay consistent even when I feel tired. Repeat it slowly. I'm trying to stay consistent. Feel the strength and focus this phrase brings to your speech. Now imagine you're having a conversation with someone facing a challenge. You want to sound supportive. One advanced phrase you can use is, I completely understand how you feel. This creates connection and shows empathy. You might say, I completely understand how you feel about being overwhelmed. I completely understand how you feel about the pressure. I completely understand how you feel about wanting to improve. Repeat gently. I completely understand how you feel. This phrase makes your English sound kind, human, and emotionally intelligent. Another phrase native speakers use naturally is, I'm trying to take it as it comes. This means accepting things one by one. Instead of stressing about everything at once, you can say, I'm trying to take it as it comes and stay calm. I'm trying to take it as it comes without worrying too much. I'm trying to take it as it comes and stay flexible. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to take it as it comes. This expression brings a sense of calm and acceptance to your English. Let's add another expression used constantly in advanced English. I'm open to the possibility that. You can say, I'm open to the possibility that I'll learn something new today. I'm open to the possibility that things will improve. I'm open to the possibility that change can be good. Repeat gently. I'm open to the possibility that. This phrase helps you express flexibility, positivity, and emotional maturity. Another advanced phrase fluent speakers love is, I've learned the hard way that. This expression means you discovered something through difficult experience. You can say, I've learned the hard way that rushing doesn't help. I've learned the hard way that self-discipline matters. I've learned the hard way that consistency is everything. Repeat it slowly. I've learned the hard way that. It's a powerful storytelling expression, perfect for sharing lessons and experiences. Now imagine talking about a challenge. You want to express how you're managing it. One helpful phrase is, I'm doing my best to handle it. You can say, I'm doing my best to handle it. Day by day, I'm doing my best to handle it. With patience, I'm doing my best to handle it. With a positive mindset. Repeat it calmly. I'm doing my best to handle it. Let this phrase bring confidence and calm into your English. Another beautiful expression fluent speakers use is, it's becoming clear to me that. This helps you express understanding or realization. You can say, it's becoming clear to me that growth takes time. It's becoming clear to me that English fluency requires patience. It's becoming clear to me that I'm improving. Repeat gently. It's becoming clear to me that. This phrase adds emotional clarity and confidence to your communication. Let's continue with another essential phrase. I'm learning to let go of what I can't control. This expression shows deep emotional awareness. You can say, I'm learning to let go of what I can't control and focus on what I can. I'm learning to let go of what I can't control in life. I'm learning to let go of what I can't control and stay present. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to let go of what I can't control. This phrase brings peace and emotional strength to your English. Another advanced phrase fluent speakers use is, I'm slowly finding my rhythm. This expression is great for describing progress. You can say, I'm slowly finding my rhythm in English. I'm slowly finding my rhythm at work. I'm slowly finding my rhythm in life. Repeat softly. I'm slowly finding my rhythm. This phrase conveys calm and steady improvement. Let's practice one more expression. Before going further, I'm trying to stay patient with myself. This phrase is perfect for learners who want to sound natural and emotionally aware. You can say, I'm trying to stay patient with myself as I learn. I'm trying to stay patient with myself when I make mistakes. I'm trying to stay patient with myself through this journey. Repeat it gently. I'm trying to stay patient with myself. This phrase is not only advanced, it's comforting and empowering. As we move further into this masterclass, you may begin to notice that your mind is becoming more comfortable with advanced expressions. Each phrase is slowly shaping the way you think, speak, and react in English. This is the true foundation of fluency. When your spontaneous thoughts begin forming naturally in English throughout your day. Let's continue deepening that natural flow with more expressions you can use in real conversations, real emotions, and real moments of your daily life. One powerful phrase that fluent speakers often use is, I'm starting to find my confidence. This expression shows growth and emotional progress. You can say, I'm starting to find my confidence when I speak English. I'm starting to find my confidence at work. I'm starting to find my confidence in new situations. Repeat it slowly. I'm starting to find my confidence. Let this phrase reflect your journey and your progress. Another advanced expression you will hear frequently is, I'm trying to see the bigger picture. This means you're trying to understand something beyond the small details. You might say, I'm trying to see the bigger picture in my English learning. I'm trying to see the bigger picture at work. I'm trying to see the bigger picture instead of focusing only on problems. Repeat gently. I'm trying to see the bigger picture. This phrase helps you sound thoughtful, balanced, and emotionally grounded. Another natural phrase fluent speakers use is, "That really put things into perspective." This expression is perfect when something helps you understand life more clearly. For example, "Talking to you really put things into perspective." That moment really put things into perspective for me. The situation really put things into perspective. Repeat softly. That really put things into perspective. This phrase adds maturity and depth to your English. Let's practice a daily expression that fluent speakers use when discussing their progress or challenges. I'm taking a moment to reflect. You can say, "I'm taking a moment to reflect on my day." "I'm taking a moment to reflect on my decisions." "I'm taking a moment to reflect on my progress." Repeat it slowly. I'm taking a moment to reflect. This phrase reminds you to pause, breathe, and think deeply. And it sounds beautifully natural in English. Another powerful expression you can use is, "I'm learning to communicate more clearly." This shows self-awareness and growth. You might say, "I'm learning to communicate more clearly at work." "I'm learning to communicate more clearly with my family." "I'm learning to communicate more clearly in English." Repeat it gently. I'm learning to communicate more clearly. This phrase helps you express improvement without pressure. Let's continue with another advanced expression. I've noticed a shift in myself. This phrase reflects emotional or behavioral change. You can say, "I've noticed a shift in myself since practicing English daily." "I've noticed a shift in myself in how I respond to challenges." "I've noticed a shift in myself in how I think." Repeat slowly. I've noticed a shift in myself. This phrase allows you to speak with self-awareness and emotional depth. Another phrase fluent speakers love is, "I'm trying not to overthink it." Overthinking is common, and this expression sounds natural when you want to show you're staying calm. You might say, "I'm trying not to overthink it." "I'm trying not to overthink my mistakes." "I'm trying not to overthink every detail." Repeat it softly. I'm trying not to overthink it. This phrase helps you express balance, self-care, and emotional control. Let's practice another expression. I want to make the most of my time. This phrase shows intention, motivation, and responsibility. You can say, "I want to make the most of my time today." "I want to make the most of my study session." "I want to make the most of the opportunities I have." Repeat slowly. I want to make the most of my time. It's a positive, advanced phrase that helps you sound focused and determined. Another useful expression fluent speakers often use is, "I'm learning to be more present." This phrase helps you talk about mindfulness and awareness. You can say, "I'm learning to be more present during conversations." "I'm learning to be more present throughout my day." "I'm learning to be more present in my English practice." Repeat gently. I'm learning to be more present. This phrase adds calm, emotional intelligence, and clarity to your English. Now imagine you're thinking about a challenge or a decision. A helpful advanced phrase is, "I'm trying to understand the situation better." You can say, "I'm trying to understand the situation better before I react." "I'm trying to understand the situation better so I can respond calmly." "I'm trying to understand the situation better step by step." Repeat it slowly. I'm trying to understand the situation better. This phrase sounds mature steady, and thoughtful in everyday conversations. Another expression that fluent speakers use often is, I'm beginning to feel more comfortable. You can say, I'm beginning to feel more comfortable speaking in English. I'm beginning to feel more comfortable in new environments. I'm beginning to feel more comfortable expressing myself. Repeat softly. I'm beginning to feel more comfortable. This phrase reflects progress, growth, and self-confidence. Let's add another beautiful expression. I'm taking my time to process everything. This shows mental and emotional awareness. You can say, I'm taking my time to process everything that happened today. I'm taking my time to process new information. I'm taking my time to process my feelings. Repeat gently. I'm taking my time to process everything. This phrase helps you sound calm, mature, and emotionally stable. Another common advanced expression is, I'm slowly getting used to it. You might say, I'm slowly getting used to speaking in English. I'm slowly getting used to this routine. I'm slowly getting used to the changes. Repeat slowly. I'm slowly getting used to it. This expression shows natural progress, without pressure. Let's practice a phrase that fluent speakers use during deeper conversations. I've realized something important. You can say, I've realized something important about my habits. I've realized something important about myself. I've realized something important about my learning journey. Repeat gently. I've realized something important. This phrase adds clarity, understanding, and emotional insight to your English. Another expression is, I'm trying to approach things differently. You might say, I'm trying to approach things differently this time. I'm trying to approach things differently to improve my results. I'm trying to approach things differently in my conversations. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to approach things differently. This phrase shows growth, flexibility, and advanced communication skills. Let's go further with a powerful phrase. I'm committed to improving every day. You can say, I'm committed to improving every day in my English. I'm committed to improving every day in my habits. I'm committed to improving every day in my mindset. Repeat gently. I'm committed to improving every day. This phrase expresses motivation, determination, and long-term growth. As we continue this journey together, I want you to keep noticing how your English is beginning to feel more natural, more expressive, more connected to your real emotions and your daily experiences. Fluency is not built in a single moment. It grows through thousands of small moments where you hear, repeat, understand, and feel the language. Every advanced phrase you practice becomes a part of your natural communication. And that is exactly what we're building here. Let's continue expanding your expressive vocabulary with more phrases that will help you speak with clarity, confidence, and emotional strength. A phrase fluent speakers frequently use is, I've been trying to stay positive. This is gentle, honest, and very natural. You can say, I've been trying to stay positive despite everything. I've been trying to stay positive even when I feel overwhelmed. I've been trying to stay positive through every challenge. Repeat slowly. I've been trying to stay positive. Let it reflect your emotional resilience. Another phrase that adds depth to everyday speech is, I want to be more intentional about. This means you want to do something with purpose. Instead of just repeating habits, you might say, I want to be more intentional about my English practice. I want to be more intentional about my time. I want to be more intentional about my health. Repeat gently. I want to be more intentional about. This phrase makes you sound thoughtful and mature in conversations. Another beautiful expression fluent speakers love is, I'm finding it helpful to. You can say, I'm finding it helpful to practice English every day. I'm finding it helpful to stay organized. I'm finding it helpful to slow down and breathe. Repeat slowly. I'm finding it helpful to. Use this phrase to talk about habits or discoveries that support your growth. Let's continue with another advanced expression. I'm trying to manage my time better. This is perfect for daily life, work, or personal conversations. You can say, I'm trying to manage my time better this week. I'm trying to manage my time better to stay focused. I'm trying to manage my time better so I can learn consistently. Repeat gently. I'm trying to manage my time better. This phrase is honest, relatable, and extremely natural. Another daily phrase fluent speakers use is, I'm beginning to notice patterns. This helps you talk about insights and observations. You can say, I'm beginning to notice patterns in my English mistakes. I'm beginning to notice patterns in my habits. I'm beginning to notice patterns in my thoughts. Repeat slowly. I'm beginning to notice patterns. This expression helps you sound analytical and self-aware. Let's practice another one. I want to build healthier habits. You might say, I want to build healthier habits with my learning. I want to build healthier habits in my routine. I want to build healthier habits so my days feel easier. Repeat gently. I want to build healthier habits. This phrase shows motivation and personal development. Another phrase fluent speakers use often during emotional conversations is, I'm learning to trust my instincts. You can say, I'm learning to trust my instincts when making decisions. I'm learning to trust my instincts in conversations. I'm learning to trust my instincts in difficult moments. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to trust my instincts. This phrase helps express emotional strength and maturity. Let's continue with a phrase you can use in many daily life situations. I'm trying to stay focused on what matters. You can say, I'm trying to stay focused on what matters instead of being distracted. I'm trying to stay focused on what matters in my routine. I'm trying to stay focused on what matters in my learning. Repeat gently. I'm trying to stay focused on what matters. This phrase helps you communicate purpose and clarity. Another expression that sounds natural and advanced is, I've realized I need more balance. You can say, I've realized I need more balance in my day. I've realized I need more balance between work and rest. I've realized I need more balance in how I spend my time. Repeat slowly. I've realized I need more balance. This helps you speak with emotional awareness and self-understanding. Let's add another expression. I'm trying to create a routine that works for me. You might say, I'm trying to create a routine that works for me in the morning. I'm trying to create a routine that works for me in English learning. I'm trying to create a routine that works for me emotionally. Repeat gently. I'm trying to create a routine that works for me. This phrase gives your English a warm and relatable tone. Another advanced phrase fluent speakers use is, I'm grateful for the small progress. You can say, I'm grateful for the small progress I've made today. I'm grateful for the small progress in my English. I'm grateful for the small progress that shows I'm improving. Repeat slowly. I'm grateful for the small progress. Let the phrase carry meaning, not just words. Let's practice a very natural expression. I don't want to lose momentum. You can say, I don't want to lose momentum in my learning. I don't want to lose momentum when things are going well. I don't want to lose momentum after getting motivated. Repeat gently. I don't want to lose momentum. This phrase works perfectly in daily motivation conversations. Another advanced expression is, I'm learning to respond instead of react. This is a powerful emotional maturity phrase. You can say, I'm learning to respond instead of react in stressful situations. I'm learning to respond instead of react in conversations. I'm learning to respond instead of react when I feel emotional. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to respond instead of react. This expression helps you sound calm, thoughtful, and emotionally intelligent. Now, imagine you're reflecting on your internal growth. You can use the phrase, I'm learning to be kinder to myself. You might say, I'm learning to be kinder to myself when I make mistakes. I'm learning to be kinder to myself when I feel stressed. I'm learning to be kinder to myself in my learning journey. Repeat gently. I'm learning to be kinder to myself. This phrase is healing, natural, and deeply expressive. Let's add another phrase you can use during self-reflection. I'm taking small steps forward. You can say, I'm taking small steps forward with my English. I'm taking small steps forward in building discipline. I'm taking small steps forward each day. Repeat slowly. I'm taking small steps forward. This expression helps you communicate progress without pressure. Another beautiful expression fluent speakers use is, I'm focusing on what I can control. You can say, I'm focusing on what I can control today. I'm focusing on what I can control in my life. I'm focusing on what I can control instead of stressing. Repeat gently. I'm focusing on what I can control. This phrase brings calm clarity to your speech. Let's move further with a gentle, advanced expression. I'm hopeful about what's ahead. You can say, I'm hopeful about what's ahead in my learning. I'm hopeful about what's ahead in my life. I'm hopeful about what's ahead in the future. Repeat it softly. I'm hopeful about what's ahead. This phrase fills your English with positivity and emotional warmth. As we continue this masterclass, I want you to keep noticing how each phrase shapes your thoughts gently and naturally. With every repetition, you're becoming more comfortable expressing deeper ideas, real emotions, and complex thoughts in English. Advanced fluency is not about big or difficult words. It's about expressing your inner world clearly, softly, and naturally. So let's continue building that natural inner voice with more phrases that help you speak beautifully and confidently in your everyday life. A powerful phrase fluent speakers love to use is, I'm learning to be more patient with the process. This expression helps you communicate acceptance and emotional strength. You can say, I'm learning to be more patient with the process of improving my English. I'm learning to be more patient with the process of growth. I'm learning to be more patient with the process of change. Repeat gently. I'm learning to be more patient with the process. Let this phrase remind you that learning takes time, and that's okay. Another advanced expression you can use is, I'm realizing how important it is to. You can say, I'm realizing how important it is to stay calm. I'm realizing how important it is to practice daily. I'm realizing how important it is to rest. Repeat it slowly. I'm realizing how important it is to. This phrase helps you express meaningful insights in a natural, fluent way. Another daily life phrase fluent speakers use is, I'm working on becoming a better version of myself. You might say, I'm working on becoming a better version of myself through learning. I'm working on becoming a better version of myself by improving my habits. I'm working on becoming a better version of myself every day. Repeat softly. I'm working on becoming a better version of myself. This phrase brings positivity and emotional depth to your English. Let's practice another expression. I'm trying to stay grounded. This means staying calm, stable, and emotionally balanced. You can say, I'm trying to stay grounded during stressful days. I'm trying to stay grounded when things feel uncertain. I'm trying to stay grounded through daily challenges. Repeat gently. I'm trying to stay grounded. This phrase feels calm, strong, and very natural. Another beautiful expression fluent speakers use is, I'm grateful for the clarity I'm gaining. You can say, I'm grateful for the clarity I'm gaining through this journey. I'm grateful for the clarity I'm gaining as I learn. I'm grateful for the clarity I'm gaining about my goals. Repeat slowly. I'm grateful for the clarity I'm gaining. This phrase helps you express deep understanding and emotional growth. Let's continue with another advanced phrase. I'm trying to understand my emotions better. You can say, I'm trying to understand my emotions better in stressful situations. I'm trying to understand my emotions better when I communicate. I'm trying to understand my emotions better every day. Repeat gently. I'm trying to understand my emotions better. This phrase adds emotional intelligence to your English. Another phrase fluent speakers use regularly is, I'm beginning to feel more confident in my abilities. You might say, I'm beginning to feel more confident in my abilities at work. I'm beginning to feel more confident in my abilities as I learn English. I'm beginning to feel more confident in my abilities to make decisions. Repeat slowly. I'm beginning to feel more confident in my abilities. Let the phrase reflect your progress. Now imagine you're talking about something that took time to understand. You can use the expression, it's finally making sense to me. This phrase is natural, expressive, and very common. You can say, it's finally making sense to me how to stay consistent. It's finally making sense to me how these phrases work. It's finally making sense to me how to improve step by step. Repeat gently. It's finally making sense to me. Let this phrase reflect your growing clarity. Another advanced expression is, I didn't realize how much I needed that. Fluent speakers use this phrase when something helps them in an unexpected way. You can say, I didn't realize how much I needed that break. I didn't realize how much I needed that conversation. I didn't realize how much I needed that reminder. Repeat slowly. I didn't realize how much I needed that. This phrase helps you sound warm and emotionally aware. Let's practice a phrase you can use during self-reflection. I'm taking responsibility for my choices. You might say, I'm taking responsibility for my choices as I grow. I'm taking responsibility for my choices in my learning. I'm taking responsibility for my choices in my personal life. Repeat gently. I'm taking responsibility for my choices. This phrase reflects maturity and personal strength. Another expression fluent speakers use is, I'm learning to adjust my expectations. This is helpful when things don't go as planned. You can say, I'm learning to adjust my expectations so I don't feel overwhelmed. I'm learning to adjust my expectations while I grow. I'm learning to adjust my expectations in daily situations. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to adjust my expectations. This phrase softens your speech and adds emotional wisdom. Let's add another daily life expression. I'm making small improvements each day. You can say, I'm making small improvements each day in my English. I'm making small improvements each day in my routine. I'm making small improvements each day in my mindset. Repeat softly. I'm making small improvements each day. This phrase celebrates consistent effort, not perfection. Another advanced phrase fluent speakers use often is, I'm proud of the progress I'm making. You can say, I'm proud of the progress I'm making in my English. I'm proud of the progress I'm making in my habits. I'm proud of the progress I'm making in my life. Repeat slowly. I'm proud of the progress I'm making. This expression is emotionally supportive and uplifting. Let's practice another powerful expression. I'm willing to grow even when it's uncomfortable. You might say, I'm willing to grow even when it's uncomfortable at first. I'm willing to grow even when it feels challenging. I'm willing to grow even when I don't feel ready. Repeat gently. I'm willing to grow even when it's uncomfortable. This phrase helps you sound emotionally courageous and fluent. Another natural phrase fluent speakers love is, I'm doing what feels right for me. You can say, I'm doing what feels right for me in my learning. I'm doing what feels right for me today. I'm doing what feels right for me emotionally. Repeat slowly. I'm doing what feels right for me. This expression communicates confidence and self-trust. Let's move further with a soft, reflective phrase. I'm learning to move forward with confidence. You can say, I'm learning to move forward with confidence in my learning. I'm learning to move forward with confidence in my decisions. I'm learning to move forward with confidence every day. Repeat gently. I'm learning to move forward with confidence. This phrase fills your English with strength, calm, and purpose. As we move ahead in this masterclass, I want you to notice how your thoughts are slowly beginning to flow in English, without force. You are no longer just learning phrases. You are absorbing a new way of expressing yourself. Every advanced phrase you practice adds clarity, emotional depth, and confidence to your communication. Let's continue shaping this natural fluency with more phrases you can use in real life, in real emotions, and in real conversations. A phrase fluent speakers often use is, I'm learning to take better care of myself. This expression is honest, emotional, and beautifully natural. You can say, I'm learning to take better care of myself physically. I'm learning to take better care of myself emotionally. I'm learning to take better care of myself through healthier habits. Repeat gently, I'm learning to take better care of myself. Let this phrase reflect your personal growth. Another advanced expression is, I'm starting to understand what truly matters to me. You might say, I'm starting to understand what truly matters to me in life. I'm starting to understand what truly matters to me in my learning. I'm starting to understand what truly matters to me as I grow. Repeat slowly. I'm starting to understand what truly matters to me. This phrase helps you speak with deep emotional awareness. Let's practice a natural phrase fluent speakers often use in conversations. I'm doing my best to stay hopeful. You can say, I'm doing my best to stay hopeful during difficult days. I'm doing my best to stay hopeful as I learn. I'm doing my best to stay hopeful about the future. Repeat softly. I'm doing my best to stay hopeful. This phrase fills your English with positivity and courage. Another powerful expression is, I'm working on improving my reactions. This helps you talk about emotional growth. You might say, I'm working on improving my reactions in stressful situations. I'm working on improving my reactions during conversations. I'm working on improving my reactions so I stay calm. Repeat gently. I'm working on improving my reactions. This phrase shows maturity and emotional intelligence. Let's continue with another advanced phrase. I'm learning to appreciate the little things. You can say, I'm learning to appreciate the little things in my day. I'm learning to appreciate the little things that make me smile. I'm learning to appreciate the little things that help me feel grateful. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to appreciate the little things. This expression is warm, expressive, and perfect for fluent communication. Another daily life expression fluent speakers use is, I'm working toward becoming more disciplined. You might say, I'm working toward becoming more disciplined with my time. I'm working toward becoming more disciplined with my practice. I'm working toward becoming more disciplined in my habits. Repeat gently. I'm working toward becoming more disciplined. This phrase shows structure, motivation, and purpose. Let's practice another expression that sounds soft and natural. I'm learning to give myself more credit. This means recognizing your own effort instead of doubting yourself. You can say, I'm learning to give myself more credit for improving. I'm learning to give myself more credit for staying consistent. I'm learning to give myself more credit for trying. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to give myself more credit. This phrase helps you express kindness and self-acknowledgement. Another phrase fluent speakers use in reflection is, I'm choosing to focus on progress, not perfection. You might say, I'm choosing to focus on progress, not perfection in my English. I'm choosing to focus on progress, not perfection in my habits. I'm choosing to focus on progress, not perfection in life. Repeat gently. I'm choosing to focus on progress, not perfection. This phrase is expressive, wise, and powerful. Let's add another advanced expression. I'm taking steps to improve my mindset. You can say, I'm taking steps to improve my mindset each day. I'm taking steps to improve my mindset to reduce stress. I'm taking steps to improve my mindset so I can grow. Repeat slowly. I'm taking steps to improve my mindset. This phrase brings emotional intelligence to your English. Another expression fluent speakers use regularly is, I'm trying to stay calm and collected. You might say, I'm trying to stay calm and collected when things get busy. I'm trying to stay calm and collected during difficult moments. I'm trying to stay calm and collected in conversations. Repeat softly. I'm trying to stay calm and collected. This helps you communicate stability and emotional balance. Let's practice another phrase. I'm learning to accept things as they are. This expression feels peaceful and mature. You can say, I'm learning to accept things as they are instead of fighting them. I'm learning to accept things as they are while focusing on what I can control. I'm learning to accept things as they are and move forward. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to accept things as they are. This phrase adds calm, strength, and wisdom to your speech. Another advanced phrase is, I'm finding comfort in small routines. You can say, I'm finding comfort in small routines every morning. I'm finding comfort in small routines that help me stay calm. I'm finding comfort in small routines that make my day easier. Repeat gently. I'm finding comfort in small routines. This expression helps you speak softly and naturally about daily habits. Let's add a phrase that native speakers use often. I'm learning to let things unfold naturally. You might say, I'm learning to let things unfold naturally instead of rushing. I'm learning to let things unfold naturally at their own pace. I'm learning to let things unfold naturally as life changes. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to let things unfold naturally. This phrase helps you express ease and emotional flexibility. Another beautiful expression is, I'm discovering what truly brings me peace. You can say, I'm discovering what truly brings me peace in my daily routine. I'm discovering what truly brings me peace in my learning. I'm discovering what truly brings me peace in my life. Repeat gently. I'm discovering what truly brings me peace. This phrase adds emotional depth and fluency to your English. Let's move further with a soft, powerful expression. I'm learning to grow at my own pace. You can say, I'm learning to grow at my own pace as I learn English. I'm learning to grow at my own pace. Without comparing myself, I'm learning to grow at my own pace each day. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to grow at my own pace. This phrase supports confidence, emotional clarity, and fluent communication. As we continue this masterclass, I want you to feel how naturally these expressions are beginning to settle into your language. Every phrase adds another layer of fluency, another layer of emotional clarity, another layer of confidence. The goal is not to memorize them one by one, but to feel them, repeat them, and allow them to shape the rhythm of your daily communication. Let's keep building your fluency with more advanced phrases you can use all throughout your day. A thoughtful expression fluent speakers use is, I'm working on creating healthier boundaries. You can say, I'm working on creating healthier boundaries with my time. I'm working on creating healthier boundaries in my relationships. I'm working on creating healthier boundaries for my peace. Repeat slowly. I'm working on creating healthier boundaries. This phrase shows emotional maturity and confidence. Another natural phrase is, I'm learning to trust my journey. You might say, I'm learning to trust my journey in English. I'm learning to trust my journey even when it feels slow. I'm learning to trust my journey and stay patient. Repeat gently. I'm learning to trust my journey. This expression helps you speak with calmness and self-belief. Let's continue with another advanced phrase. I'm taking responsibility for my growth. You can say, I'm taking responsibility for my growth in English. I'm taking responsibility for my growth in my habits. I'm taking responsibility for my growth every day. Repeat slowly. I'm taking responsibility for my growth. This phrase communicates strength and self-awareness. Another expression fluent speakers commonly use is, I'm noticing improvement, even in small ways. You might say, I'm noticing improvement, even in small ways, in my speaking. I'm noticing improvement, even in small ways, in my confidence. I'm noticing improvement, even in small ways, in my daily habits. Repeat softly. I'm noticing improvement, even in small ways. This phrase celebrates progress, without pressure. Let's practice a soothing phrase. I'm learning to slow down when I need to. You can say, I'm learning to slow down when I need to rest. I'm learning to slow down when I feel overwhelmed. I'm learning to slow down when my mind is rushing. Repeat gently. I'm learning to slow down when I need to. This expression helps you sound sincere and emotionally aware. Another useful phrase fluent speakers use is, I'm trying to find the lesson in every experience. You might say, I'm trying to find the lesson in every experience I go through. I'm trying to find the lesson in every challenge. I'm trying to find the lesson in every situation. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to find the lesson in every experience. This phrase helps you communicate wisdom and reflection. Let's add another advanced expression. I'm learning to stay calm under pressure. You can say, I'm learning to stay calm under pressure while I speak. I'm learning to stay calm under pressure at work. I'm learning to stay calm under pressure in difficult moments. Repeat gently. I'm learning to stay calm under pressure. This helps you express emotional control and confidence. Another beautiful phrase fluent speakers use is, I'm starting to value my time more. You might say, I'm starting to value my time more as I grow. I'm starting to value my time more in my routine. I'm starting to value my time more in learning English. Repeat slowly. I'm starting to value my time more. This expression adds purpose and clarity to your communication. Let's continue with another emotional growth phrase. I'm trying to stay true to who I am. You can say, I'm trying to stay true to who I am while making progress. I'm trying to stay true to who I am during challenges. I'm trying to stay true to who I am in every situation. Repeat gently. I'm trying to stay true to who I am. This phrase makes your English feel authentic and heartfelt. Another advanced expression is, I'm becoming more aware of my habits. You might say, I'm becoming more aware of my habits that help me. I'm becoming more aware of my habits that slow me down. I'm becoming more aware of my habits as I grow. Repeat softly. I'm becoming more aware of my habits. This phrase adds emotional intelligence and mindfulness. to your speaking. Let's practice a phrase that fluent speakers use often. I'm learning to let myself rest. You can say, I'm learning to let myself rest without feeling guilty. I'm learning to let myself rest when I'm tired. I'm learning to let myself rest so I can focus better. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to let myself rest. This expression is gentle and comforting. Another phrase that adds depth to your communication is, I'm trying to stay patient with the timing of things. You might say, I'm trying to stay patient with the timing of things in my life. I'm trying to stay patient with the timing of things in my learning. I'm trying to stay patient with the timing of things as they unfold. Repeat gently. I'm trying to stay patient with the timing of things. This phrase is emotional, natural, and beautifully fluent. Let's add another expression fluent speakers love. I'm reminding myself that progress takes time. You can say, I'm reminding myself that progress takes time in learning English. I'm reminding myself that progress takes time in building habits. I'm reminding myself that progress takes time and patience. Repeat slowly. I'm reminding myself that progress takes time. This phrase adds emotional grounding and calmness. Another natural phrase is, I'm allowing myself to grow, even if it's slow. You might say, I'm allowing myself to grow, even if it's slow but steady. I'm allowing myself to grow, even if I feel uncertain. I'm allowing myself to grow, even if it takes time. Repeat gently. I'm allowing myself to grow, even if it's slow. This expression reflects acceptance and emotional maturity. Let's practice another beautifully expressive phrase. I'm becoming more confident in expressing my thoughts. You can say, I'm becoming more confident in expressing my thoughts in English. I'm becoming more confident in expressing my thoughts during conversations. I'm becoming more confident in expressing my thoughts naturally. Repeat slowly. I'm becoming more confident in expressing my thoughts. This phrase shows growth and empowerment. Another advanced expression fluent speakers use is, I'm taking time to understand myself better. You might say, I'm taking time to understand myself better through reflection. I'm taking time to understand myself better while growing. I'm taking time to understand myself better each day. Repeat gently. I'm taking time to understand myself better. This phrase adds warmth and humanity to your communication. Let's continue with a soft, powerful expression. I'm learning to believe in my progress. You can say, I'm learning to believe in my progress as I improve. I'm learning to believe in my progress even when it feels slow. I'm learning to believe in my progress more each day. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to believe in my progress. This phrase strengthens confidence and emotional fluency. As we go deeper into this masterclass, I want you to feel how your relationship with English is shifting. You're no longer only learning phrases, you're learning to speak with emotional clarity, self-awareness, confidence, and natural rhythm. The more you repeat these expressions, the more you will notice your thoughts shaping themselves in English throughout your day. That is the true meaning of fluency. Let's continue adding new layers of expression to your language, with more advanced phrases you can use all day, every day. A thoughtful expression fluent speakers use often is, I'm trying to stay connected to what feels meaningful. You can say, I'm trying to stay connected to what feels meaningful in my learning. I'm trying to stay connected to what feels meaningful in my life. I'm trying to stay connected to what feels meaningful in my decisions. Repeat it softly. I'm trying to stay connected to what feels meaningful. This phrase helps you speak from a place of purpose and sincerity. Another advanced phrase is, I'm becoming more aware of what I need. You might say, I'm becoming more aware of what I need emotionally. I'm becoming more aware of what I need throughout my day. I'm becoming more aware of what I need to stay balanced. Repeat slowly. I'm becoming more aware of what I need. This expression adds emotional insight to your English. Let's continue with another natural phrase. I'm learning to communicate with more clarity and kindness. You can say, I'm learning to communicate with more clarity and kindness at work. I'm learning to communicate with more clarity and kindness with my friends. I'm learning to communicate with more clarity and kindness in English. Repeat gently. I'm learning to communicate with more clarity and kindness. This phrase reflects emotional maturity and confidence. Another expression fluent speakers use often is, I'm beginning to feel more balanced. You might say, I'm beginning to feel more balanced in my routine. I'm beginning to feel more balanced in my emotions. I'm beginning to feel more balanced as I grow. Repeat slowly. I'm beginning to feel more balanced. This expression brings calmness to your communication. Let's add a deeply expressive phrase. I'm allowing myself to slow down and breathe. You can say, I'm allowing myself to slow down and breathe during stressful moments. I'm allowing myself to slow down and breathe when things feel heavy. I'm allowing myself to slow down and breathe while I learn. Repeat gently. I'm allowing myself to slow down and breathe. This phrase helps you express mindfulness and emotional control. Another powerful expression is, I'm trying to build healthier patterns. You might say, I'm trying to build healthier patterns in my daily habits. I'm trying to build healthier patterns in my thinking. I'm trying to build healthier patterns in my learning. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to build healthier patterns. This phrase communicates growth and intention. Let's continue with another natural phrase. I'm learning to be more patient with my feelings. You can say, I'm learning to be more patient with my feelings when I'm overwhelmed. I'm learning to be more patient with my feelings as I reflect. I'm learning to be more patient with my feelings during learning. Repeat gently. I'm learning to be more patient with my feelings. This phrase adds emotional honesty and softness to your English. Another expression fluent speakers use is, I'm focusing on becoming more consistent. You might say, I'm focusing on becoming more consistent with my practice. I'm focusing on becoming more consistent with my habits. I'm focusing on becoming more consistent with my goals. Repeat slowly. I'm focusing on becoming more consistent. This phrase helps you express discipline and responsibility. Let's practice another advanced phrase. I'm realizing how important my mindset is. You can say, I'm realizing how important my mindset is in learning. I'm realizing how important my mindset is in managing stress. I'm realizing how important my mindset is in my goals. Repeat gently. I'm realizing how important my mindset is. This phrase communicates clarity, maturity, and understanding. Another natural expression is, I'm learning to find strength in small victories. You might say, I'm learning to find strength in small victories during my day. I'm learning to find strength in small victories in my English. I'm learning to find strength in small victories I used to ignore. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to find strength in small victories. This expression helps you communicate positivity and growth. Let's add another reflective phrase. I'm taking things one moment at a time. You can say, I'm taking things one moment at a time when I feel overwhelmed. I'm taking things one moment at a time while learning. I'm taking things one moment at a time in life. Repeat gently. I'm taking things one moment at a time. This helps you sound calm and centered. Another advanced expression fluent speakers love is, I'm discovering what helps me stay motivated. You might say, I'm discovering what helps me stay motivated with English. I'm discovering what helps me stay motivated during busy weeks. I'm discovering what helps me stay motivated emotionally. Repeat slowly. I'm discovering what helps me stay motivated. This phrase shows intention and curiosity. Let's practice another natural phrase. I'm learning to balance responsibility with self-care. You can say, I'm learning to balance responsibility with self-care in my routine. I'm learning to balance responsibility with self-care at work. I'm learning to balance responsibility with self-care as I grow. Repeat gently. I'm learning to balance responsibility with self-care. This phrase adds emotional intelligence to your communication. Another powerful expression is, I'm trying to understand what truly supports my well-being. You might say, I'm trying to understand what truly supports my well-being emotionally. I'm trying to understand what truly supports my well-being mentally. I'm trying to understand what truly supports my well-being each day. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to understand what truly supports my well-being. This expression sounds deep and authentic. Let's add one more phrase. I'm learning to move forward with a clearer mind. You can say, I'm learning to move forward with a clearer mind through reflection. I'm learning to move forward with a clearer mind by simplifying things. I'm learning to move forward with a clearer mind each day. Repeat gently. I'm learning to move forward with a clearer mind. This phrase expresses calm, clarity, and emotional strength. As we continue this masterclass, I want you to notice how naturally your mind is beginning to recall and reuse these expressions. You're not memorizing anymore. You're absorbing. You're internalizing. You're building an emotional connection with the language. And that is what transforms your English into something fluent, effortless, and authentic. Let's continue expanding this natural flow with more phrases you can use every single day to express your emotions, thoughts, decisions, and reflections with clarity and confidence. A gentle expression fluent speakers use is, I'm learning to be more understanding with myself. You can say, I'm learning to be more understanding with myself when I make mistakes. I'm learning to be more understanding with myself when I feel overwhelmed. I'm learning to be more understanding with myself during this journey. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to be more understanding with myself This phrase helps you express compassion and emotional maturity. Another advanced phrase is, I'm beginning to understand what I truly need to feel balanced. You might say, I'm beginning to understand what I truly need to feel balanced in my routine. I'm beginning to understand what I truly need to feel balanced in my day. I'm beginning to understand what I truly need to feel balanced emotionally. Repeat gently. I'm beginning to understand what I truly need to feel balanced. This expression helps you speak with sensitivity and clarity. Let's practice another phrase fluent speakers love. I'm working on becoming more mindful of my reactions. You can say, I'm working on becoming more mindful of my reactions in conversations. I'm working on becoming more mindful of my reactions in stressful situations. I'm working on becoming more mindful of my reactions to daily challenges. Repeat softly. I'm working on becoming more mindful of my reactions. This phrase adds emotional intelligence to your communication. Another natural phrase is, I'm trying to strengthen my daily habits. You might say, I'm trying to strengthen my daily habits to stay focused. I'm trying to strengthen my daily habits to improve my English. I'm trying to strengthen my daily habits to feel more organized. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to strengthen my daily habits. This phrase brings discipline and purpose to your speech. Let's add another advanced expression. I'm learning to respond with more calmness. You can say, I'm learning to respond with more calmness when things don't go my way. I'm learning to respond with more calmness in conversations. I'm learning to respond with more calmness instead of reacting quickly. Repeat gently. I'm learning to respond with more calmness. This phrase helps you express maturity and emotional balance. Another phrase fluent speakers use often is, I'm starting to value simple moments. You might say, I'm starting to value simple moments in my day. I'm starting to value simple moments that make me smile. I'm starting to value simple moments of peace. Repeat slowly. I'm starting to value simple moments. This expression brings warmth and gratitude into your speech. Let's continue with a reflective phrase. I'm learning to accept that growth takes time. You can say, I'm learning to accept that growth takes time in learning. I'm learning to accept that growth takes time emotionally. I'm learning to accept that growth takes time in all areas of life. Repeat softly. I'm learning to accept that growth takes time. This phrase sounds wise, calm, and fluent. Another advanced expression fluent speakers use is, I'm discovering what helps me stay emotionally balanced. You might say, I'm discovering what helps me stay emotionally balanced each morning. I'm discovering what helps me stay emotionally balanced during stressful days. I'm discovering what helps me stay emotionally balanced in my learning. Repeat slowly. I'm discovering what helps me stay emotionally balanced. This phrase helps you express emotional self-awareness. Let's practice another phrase. I'm trying to stay open to new experiences. You can say, I'm trying to stay open to new experiences in learning. I'm trying to stay open to new experiences that challenge me. I'm trying to stay open to new experiences that help me grow. Repeat gently. I'm trying to stay open to new experiences. This phrase communicates curiosity and emotional openness. Another expression fluent speakers use frequently is, I'm learning to distance myself from unnecessary stress. You might say, I'm learning to distance myself from unnecessary stress in my routine. I'm learning to distance myself from unnecessary stress in my decisions. I'm learning to distance myself from unnecessary stress to stay peaceful. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to distance myself from unnecessary stress. This phrase adds clarity and emotional intelligence to your English. Let's add a calming phrase. I'm doing my best to stay emotionally steady. You can say, I'm doing my best to stay emotionally steady during change. I'm doing my best to stay emotionally steady in conversations. I'm doing my best to stay emotionally steady throughout my day. Repeat softly. I'm doing my best to stay emotionally steady. This phrase is gentle and supportive. Another advanced expression is, I'm beginning to trust my own timing. You might say, I'm beginning to trust my own timing in learning. I'm beginning to trust my own timing in life. I'm beginning to trust my own timing in my decisions. Repeat slowly. I'm beginning to trust my own timing. This phrase helps you communicate confidence and self-trust. Let's continue with a natural phrase. I'm learning to adjust my pace when needed. You can say, I'm learning to adjust my pace when I'm tired. I'm learning to adjust my pace when I feel overwhelmed. I'm learning to adjust my pace when life becomes unpredictable. Repeat gently. I'm learning to adjust my pace when needed. This phrase reflects emotional flexibility and awareness. Another expression fluent speakers use is, I'm finding strength in being consistent. You might say, I'm finding strength in being consistent with my practice. I'm finding strength in being consistent with my habits. I'm finding strength in being consistent with my growth. Repeat slowly. I'm finding strength in being consistent. This phrase helps you express motivation and resilience. Let's practice another advanced phrase. I'm trying to stay aware of what drains my energy. You can say, I'm trying to stay aware of what drains my energy during the day. I'm trying to stay aware of what drains my energy emotionally. I'm trying to stay aware of what drains my energy so I can protect myself. Repeat gently. I'm trying to stay aware of what drains my energy. This phrase brings emotional intelligence and self-care into your English. Another beautiful expression fluent speakers love is, I'm beginning to notice what truly inspires me. You might say, I'm beginning to notice what truly inspires me to grow. I'm beginning to notice what truly inspires me to stay motivated. I'm beginning to notice what truly inspires me in life. Repeat slowly. I'm beginning to notice what truly inspires me. This phrase adds depth and authenticity to your communication. Let's add one more expression. I'm learning to walk forward with more clarity and confidence. You can say, I'm learning to walk forward with more clarity and confidence in my English. I'm learning to walk forward with more clarity and confidence in my decisions. I'm learning to walk forward with more clarity and confidence each day. Repeat gently. I'm learning to walk forward with more clarity and confidence. This phrase helps you express emotional strength, purpose, and fluent communication. As we come toward the end of this masterclass, I want you to notice how your mind feels right now. You've been absorbing advanced English phrases with calm repetition, emotional awareness, and natural flow. You may already feel a difference in the way English forms itself in your thoughts, and that is the true sign of fluency developing inside you. Every phrase you've practiced in this lesson has helped you build a stronger, richer, more expressive voice in English. Let's complete this journey with some final advanced expressions that will support you throughout your daily life, your conversations, your decisions, and your personal growth. A beautiful expression fluent speakers use is, "I'm learning to give myself permission to grow." You can say, "I'm learning to give myself permission to grow at my own pace." I'm learning to give myself permission to grow without comparing myself. I'm learning to give myself permission to grow through challenges. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to give myself permission to grow. This phrase helps you speak gently and confidently at the same time. Another advanced expression is, "I'm becoming more aware of my emotional needs." You might say, "I'm becoming more aware of my emotional needs during stressful days." "I'm becoming more aware of my emotional needs in my routine." "I'm becoming more aware of my emotional needs as I grow." Repeat gently. I'm becoming more aware of my emotional needs. This phrase adds emotional clarity and maturity to your English. Let's practice a peaceful phrase fluent speakers love. I'm choosing to let go of unnecessary pressure. You can say, "I'm choosing to let go of unnecessary pressure in learning." I'm choosing to let go of unnecessary pressure to be perfect. I'm choosing to let go of unnecessary pressure and breathe. Repeat softly. I'm choosing to let go of unnecessary pressure. This expression helps you communicate calm and emotional balance. Another natural phrase you can use is, "I'm learning to be more present with myself." You might say, "I'm learning to be more present with myself during the day." I'm learning to be more present with myself in conversations. I'm learning to be more present with myself as I reflect. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to be more present with myself. This phrase creates connection, softness, and deep awareness in your English. Let's continue with a thoughtful expression. I'm discovering what truly helps me feel balanced. You can say, "I'm discovering what truly helps me feel balanced in my routine." I'm discovering what truly helps me feel balanced emotionally. I'm discovering what truly helps me feel balanced in my learning. Repeat gently, I'm discovering what truly helps me feel balanced. This phrase adds emotional depth to your speech. Another advanced expression fluent speakers often use is, "I'm trying to create space for things that matter." You might say, "I'm trying to create space for things that matter in my day." I'm trying to create space for things that matter in my growth. I'm trying to create space for things that matter in my heart. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to create space for things that matter. This expression sounds mature and grounded. Let's practice another natural expression. I'm becoming more confident in who I'm becoming. You can say, I'm becoming more confident in who I'm becoming through learning. I'm becoming more confident in who I'm becoming with each small step. I'm becoming more confident in who I'm becoming with time. Repeat gently. I'm becoming more confident in who I'm becoming. This phrase communicates identity, confidence, and emotional growth. Another phrase fluent speakers use is, I'm learning to guide myself with kindness. You might say, I'm learning to guide myself with kindness each day. I'm learning to guide myself with kindness through mistakes. I'm learning to guide myself with kindness while improving. Repeat slowly. I'm learning to guide myself with kindness. This phrase brings warmth and emotional softness to your English. Let's continue with another expressive phrase. I'm realizing how much strength I've gained. You can say, I'm realizing how much strength I've gained through challenges. I'm realizing how much strength I've gained through growth. I'm realizing how much strength I've gained through this journey. Repeat gently. I'm realizing how much strength I've gained. This expression helps you speak with insight and gratitude. Another natural phrase you can use is, I'm choosing to move forward with intention. You might say, I'm choosing to move forward with intention in my learning. I'm choosing to move forward with intention in my decisions. I'm choosing to move forward with intention every day. Repeat slowly. I'm choosing to move forward with intention. This phrase sounds powerful and fluent. Let's add another calming expression. I'm allowing myself to grow without rushing. You can say, I'm allowing myself to grow without rushing through learning. I'm allowing myself to grow without rushing my emotions. I'm allowing myself to grow without rushing the process. Repeat gently. I'm allowing myself to grow without rushing. This phrase strengthens your emotional fluency. Another advanced phrase fluent speakers love is, I'm trying to find peace in the present moment. You might say, I'm trying to find peace in the present moment during stressful days. I'm trying to find peace in the present moment while learning. I'm trying to find peace in the present moment by breathing deeply. Repeat slowly. I'm trying to find peace in the present moment. This phrase fills your English with calmness and mindfulness. Let's add another expressive phrase. I'm learning to trust myself more each day. You can say, I'm learning to trust myself more each day as I improve. I'm learning to trust myself more each day with my decisions. I'm learning to trust myself more each day emotionally. Repeat softly. I'm learning to trust myself more each day. This expression strengthens self-belief and emotional growth. Another beautiful expression fluent speakers use is, I'm beginning to understand the value of patience. You might say, I'm beginning to understand the value of patience in learning. I'm beginning to understand the value of patience in life. I'm beginning to understand the value of patience with myself. Repeat slowly. I'm beginning to understand the value of patience. This phrase adds wisdom and maturity to your English. And now, one final expression to close this masterclass. I'm proud of myself for continuing this journey. You can say, I'm proud of myself for continuing this journey of learning. I'm proud of myself for staying committed. I'm proud of myself for growing step by step. Repeat gently. I'm proud of myself for continuing this journey. Let this phrase stay with you as a reminder of your progress, your commitment, and your strength. You've completed this masterclass. You've learned hundreds of advanced English expressions. You've practiced emotional fluency, natural rhythm, self-awareness, and confident communication. And most importantly, You've taken another powerful step in becoming the fluent English speaker you desire to be. Keep practicing, keep growing, and keep trusting your progress. You're doing better than you think.